in L.A. My name is Mike Amos. Looks like I've got it here by myself this morning for a little while. Bill Rice is got some things he had to take care of this morning. And, of course, we're brought to you by Lawrence Hardware on right here on South Brundage Street in Troy. Been in the business a long time. I tell you, you want to see something real unique, you go to that hardware store and you'll see things in that hardware store that you'll have to ask what it does and what it's meant to be. And I guarantee you, they've got a tremendous selection of hardware needs. And like I said, hardware items that you would not see in any other store. I want to mention Express Oil Change on the bypass, and that's the best business as far as having oil, being able to get your oil changed in 10 to 15 minutes without leaving it at a place for a half a day or whatever. We appreciate them so much, as we do the Witherington Group. Remember, the Witherington Group, you're in good hands with Allstate. See Perry Green at the Witherington Group today, and saw my good buddy from Max today, and saw him left home early just like I did, and good to see him up and around this morning. Oakview Manor in Ozark, one of the outstanding places for improved education, and we really appreciate them so much. P.S. Furniture this morning. Like I said, don't go to P.S. Furniture unless you plan to buy something, because there's so many items in there that you say, well, you won't believe the price. And of course, the items alone was worth the visit, but the price saved you a lot of money. I want to mention too, Earl's Glass on South Brundage Street. And they're not just an auto glass place. They can fix your bumps and and make your car look like new again. And we appreciate them so much. I want to mention a few other things going on. Really, we're about halfway to Christmas, and we've got the annual Troy Christmas Parade coming up from downtown Troy. That's going to be on next Monday, and it should be a good one. All the Troy maintenance people are going to be out and about trying to win over the trophy for the best item out there. And of course, one of the things that they'll be doing is getting their units ready, and just the Troy Public Works Department and the Recreation Department, all of them will have floats, and also the bands, and hopefully the Sound of the South will be there. And of course, I want to mention Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Ladies and gentlemen, looking for a career in the trucking field, no better place to go than right here in Troy, Alabama, at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. And of course, one of the outstanding truck lines in America. And talk to them today about a career start with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. I want to mention also with the bowl picture coming up, got Johnny Williams is supposed to be calling me in this morning to talk to us about his bowl game, and of course he's got two of them. One of them is the Coastal Carolina Bowl, and then the other one is the Camellia Bowl from Montgomery on Christmas Day. So we'll be talking to Johnny sometimes this morning. I want to mention also all of our friends at Bill Jackson Chevrolet, and of course Bill Jackson Chevrolet and his employees want to take this time to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Mike Amos is expected to be calling in very soon from the outskirts of Grayton Beach, Florida, so we'll have him on our show in just a moment. Want to mention also during the Christmas season. You know, there are a lot of things going on, and one of the things people asked me the other day, I was out at Troy Bank and Trust Company, and I said, what is the big Wiley Sanders trailer for? And that place is for you to drop off bicycles. They're having a big bicycle giveaway again here at Christmas, and you can go buy a bicycle, or if you got a bicycle that's in good condition, that you'll donate to the cause. Wiley Sanders Truck Line hope to have a bicycle for almost every kid in town, or every kid in town that needs a bicycle. So, you know, I've always dreamed of a bicycle, an English bicycle, they called them back then, those days. And it was such a thrill one morning to walk in and see a brand new bike. And my brother got a brand new bike, and I wrecked mine about a week after I had it, and he probably still has it, his bicycle. But it's always, you know, a bicycle is one of the feature items, whether it's a boy or a girl, to give at Christmas for the young kids out there. And we're so pleased with my good friend Jeffrey Bennett and all the Sanders people for being so conscious of taking care of kids for Christmas. And also Kelly's got her going to have her big Christmas feast where they get put together boxes for people who have needy kids, needy problems, and we hope that we can get behind her program too, and she does an outstanding job. We're waiting for Mike Amos to call in from Grayton Beach, so I'll have somebody to talk to this morning. Of course, not many more days for Christmas, and again, shop Troy for Christmas, and we appreciate all of the vendors and the people out there. But when you go shopping for Christmas, shop Troy. We'll be back in just a moment.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by our good friends at the Home Hospice Company, Home Hospice Advantage, and they do so many great things, and they're there when you need them the most, and we appreciate them very much. Also, I want to say hello to Sam Judah at Circle Insurance in Ozark, the insurer of the year in and year out in the Ozark area. And, of course, Sam's a good friend of mine. Also, let's go to our phones. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
Good morning. What kind of weather do we have down in Grayton this morning?
Well, overcast. It might rain later this evening into the night, but a little cold this morning, 50 degrees.
Well, I tell you, it was cool this morning and cold last night. It's not completely, the kind of cool air that comes with a breeze real heavy. It's no breeze really of sort, but it's a little cool.
Yeah, it says it's 41 degrees right now in Troy.
That's pretty cool. Mike, of course, Bill Rice has called in sick this morning, and of course we'll be talking to him later.
Bill Rice is sick. That's never good.
Well, he's got to get the kids to school. He's not. I think it's one of his kids that's sick, not him. And
yeah, I was looking at some Troy Twitter news yesterday. It looks like Sam Hardman, who's a friend of the show, has been retained, so he'll be on Summerall staff.
Great, boy, he's a good coach.
Also looks like the strength and conditioning coach, Rusty Witt, the former Army Ranger who Lindsey brought in a couple of years ago, will be retained as the strength coach as well.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Of course, Witt came from Army. He was a strength and conditioning coach in Army, and then he was the strength and conditioning coach at Louisiana Lafayette for 5 years as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we've got him, and it's going to be very important. He's the guy that they go to in the off season, and he's got to get them ready.
Yeah, I mean the slogan I would say for Troy is "Get strong or get gone."
Mike, how did you come up with that? Who gave you that slogan? Hey, get strong or get gone. That's going to be our slogan too to the football team.
Might have been a Jay Jeffcoat slogan back in the day.
Oh God!
I saw that on a T-shirt. I might have been wearing it. I can't remember.
Get strong or get gone. All right, I got you. Mike Amos calling in from Grayton Beach, Florida, as he does most every day, and we appreciate him very much. And Mike,
I've been calling from somewhere for about 8.5 years. I figured that out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, there's old Big Al this morning. He's standing proud for the Crimson Tide of Alabama, and of course, Alabama will be playing in the Cotton Bowl, and the Cotton Bowl is Jerry World. Is that right, Mike? Is that Jerry World now?
Yeah, that means you have an outside chance if your punter kicks it real high to hit the scoreboard.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. The old Cotton Bowl is still there, too, and that's where they have the Cotton Bowl. Isn't that right?
I want to say maybe I moved Oklahoma and Texas to no, they're still in the old Cotton Bowl. That's right.
Yeah, the old Cotton Bowl.
Where the state that's right.
I want to say SMU uses that stadium.
Arkansas and Texas A&M play in the Cotton Bowl every year.
Yeah. Well, and of course.
Actually, SMU has their own campus stadium on campus.
Well, Rice has a stadium too, and you know what? At one time, I want to say it held.
Rice might be the old Cotton Bowl.
All right, now let me tell you, they said at one time they held about 70,000 at one time. So that'll tell you.
Right.
But it's an old stadium, a real old stadium. I don't know if I would want to go to a game there. The Orange Bowl in Miami is gone now.
Alabama's got two guys who went to the Senior Bowl down in Mobile. You got Brian Robinson, the running back, who had a great, senior year for the second time. He was a super senior. And then Ferdarian Mathis is also headed to the Senior Bowl. So that's two Alabama guys that are accepted invitations. Might be a few more. We'll see.
Yeah, I would think there would be. So forth. Robinson is a bona fide senior then. Yeah,
Six
that's
years
right.
out.
Yeah, 6-year guy. Oh boy, you're right. And of course, we're excited to be here this morning, and of course, brought to you by Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need. Mike, we are getting into the Christmas season and so forth, and as what do you call that area down there where you live?
38.
38, yeah, 38. Is it all lit up for Christmas?
Yeah, we have a country music star that lives in Grayton. He's in a band called Florida Georgia Line. His name's Brian Kelly, and his wife decided to go to the Great Homeowner Association meeting and talk to everybody about the lights up in their yard. So we've turned Grayton into a winter wonderland.
I bet it's
for
pretty.
local residents. So the Red Bar and Tribe Kelly Surf Shop, which they own across from the Red Bar in Taringo, the restaurant that has really good wings and pizza. Everybody's all lit up in kind of downtown Grayton down there near the beach. And then we put lights out on our fence and bought a blown up Santa Claus that lights up.
I'm glad you did that.
A Christmas wreath that lights up. So we've kind of turned Grayton into a mini Crow Hill.
That's right.
We just don't have people that live here. Full-time residents in Grayton are probably around 30% of all the houses. So there's lights out, but it's not like every house.
Well, I tell you, I know it's pretty down there, and it's pretty at Crow Hill too. It's got white lights everywhere, and it's beautiful.
Alice Beach has got a huge, beautiful Christmas tree lit up. Seaside's got a really pretty tree lit up. I mean, it's beautiful to get on 38 at Rosemary Beach and drive all of 38 down here. It's definitely a lot to see for us Christmas lights.
Well, that's good. That's great. And of course, it is that time of the year, and of course, where we not only are proud to be a part of the Christmas season, but at the same time can help others at Christmas. And giving at Christmas means so much to help people that just don't have what we have, and we can help them and make them a very nice Christmas out there. Of course, the show brought to you by Mr. Santa Claus, my good friend Jason Gregory at Premier. Boy, and I say that really jokingly at the time, but he's like a Santa Claus. He's been good to so many people, and has helped so many people out. And of course, remember Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep, ladies and gentlemen, they'll beat anybody's price. Believe you me, they'll beat anybody's price out there. Road Mart, and of course we've been going to Road Mart for years for all our tire needs and front-end alignments and tires. Of course, those folks have been around quite a while, and we appreciate them this morning. Mike Amos is on the line from Grayton Beach, and Mike, I've looked down all the bowls, and it is just an unreal bowl season where there are going to be 41 bowls and 80 participants.
Yeah, I mean, it's just growing every year. Now there's a Fenway Park Bowl where the Red Sox play. There's already a Yankee Stadium Bowl game as well. It's one of those things. We say it all the time. If you're not one of the 4 playoff teams, and basically getting to the bowl is kind of, everybody kind of gets to celebrate the same way. I mean, some bowls, of course, are better than others. Some are New Year's Day bowl games.
Yeah.
Some locations are better than others for sure. But one of those where fan bases get together, fan bases get to travel. I mean, one of my favorite trips have been to New Orleans, watching Troy and bowl games on there, and we've had some good times over in Mobile.
Yeah, you're right.
Mobile, you also go to Biloxi.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. I've never actually have experienced the Montgomery Bowl, the Camellia Bowl, or the Birmingham Bowl, but I know you've been to both those as well.
Oh yeah, Johnny Williams does a great job with those bowl games, and we appreciate him being a part of.
Myrtle Beach Bowl will be kind of fun too. That area's got a lot to do.
Oh yeah.
Like play
Yeah. Well, here's the big January 1st game. Everybody wants to play on January 1st, New Year's Day. Here's your New Year's Day bowls.
Well, actually, everybody wants to play on New Year's Eve. That's when the 4 playoff teams play.
Well,
it's kind of stupid. You know, a guy that works, some people have to work on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Some people can't watch those games. A guy on the radio was talking about the other day. He thinks it's absolutely insane. Why would you have the biggest games not on New Year's Day?
Yeah, you're right. Well,
everybody can enjoy them.
All right, here they are. From the 31st. That's New Year's Eve, all the way through January 1st. The New Year's Eve games will feature Texas A&M and Wake Forest in the Gator Bowl. Miami. Look, can you believe that they made a December 34th bowl? Miami versus Washington State in the Sun Bowl. The Cotton Bowl has Alabama versus Cincinnati, and that's an afternoon game, Mike. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's on a Friday. Is that right?
That's right,
yeah. So Alabama plays in the afternoon on Friday, so half the country won't even be able to watch the game, you know?
Yeah, the night game will be Georgia, Michigan.
And then also a night game will be the Arizona Bowl, Boise State and Central Michigan. It's got prime television, 4:30. And then the 31st, December 31st, the Orange Bowl, like you said, Mike, has Michigan versus Georgia, and they play at night. But can you believe Alabama?
Yeah,
Alabama, this is the truth. Let me find out this. When does the 31st fall? Is it on a Friday?
It's on Friday.
Boy, oh boy, Alabama won't get near the television coverage that they normally would. You know who's going to get it? Georgia and Michigan. Georgia and Michigan on December 31st will be the highlight game of the day.
Well, that's what's so crazy. Also, why would you have meaningless bowl games in other conferences during the playoff day? If you're going to have the playoff games, I might as well just have those.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Now, January.
Very strange scheduling. They've done this before, though. So.
Just listen, people are just now getting home, preparing to go out and celebrate the New Year's, and there Alabama is sitting there at 3:30 having their game, and there's a lot of just half the country is still at work, or more than half the country is still at work.
Well, I mean, as far as the service industry and people that are in restaurants and bars and stuff that entertainment industry down here.
That'll be all right.
So people will be pretty busy, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would see that. But Mike,
I mean, New Year's Eve, a rocking time. This is a destination spot for a lot of people on New Year's.
But again, I would love to see the television coverage, what the coverage would be on Alabama and Cincinnati compared to Michigan and Georgia. Michigan and Georgia are going to have a lot bigger television, Mike.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the ratings look like. Of course, Cincinnati's got a pretty big market. There's a lot of people that live in that area, but nothing like the Michigan alumni base and the Georgia alumni base throughout the country.
All right, here's your January 1st games. The Outback Bowl has Arkansas and Penn State at noon on January 1st. So you just got through watching the parade, and now you're watching football. So they got a lot of coverage. Arkansas and Penn State are going to get a ton of coverage, Mike. Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame and Oklahoma State. So. Then at 1 o'clock.
Notre Dame and Oklahoma State will be a pretty good game.
All right, at 1 o'clock, January 1st, at 1 o'clock, the powerful Iowa team playing Kentucky on ABC prime time.
I like Kentucky in that game.
Do you know?
That's one of the worst offenses I've seen.
And right there on January 1st is the prime time of all. Kentucky and Iowa, the Hawkeyes get prime time. January the 1st, Rose Bowl, Ohio State versus Utah. Who's going to get excited over that game on January 1st at 5 o'clock? And then on January 1st at the Sugar Bowl, it features Baylor and Mississippi.
I don't know, man. Utah fan base, I mean, they're pretty rabid. And this team's playing probably some of the best football in the country. The way they finished out, winning the Pac-12. I think Utah will bring 40,000 fans to the Rose Bowl.
Well, I'm not talking much about Rose Bowl. I'm talking about television.
I know, and I'm saying that will be an interesting game for us matchup. Ohio State's really good. Utah's good.
Well,
so
Baylor and Ole Miss play at 8:45 prime. Now that's going to be one that a lot of people will watch on New Year's night. New Year's night has Ole Miss against the Baylor Bears, and then so that's your January the 1st bowl selections, and then on January the 4th, sitting out there by itself is Kansas State and LSU. Can you believe that? He got.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe that they're going to wait and play one of those late bowl games.
They're going to play at 9 o'clock. They're going to play at 9 o'clock. So you got Ole Miss and Baylor, and then you got LSU and Kansas State. And then on January the 10th, the College Bowl playoff championship game. And that pits that's 8 o'clock.
Talking up Michigan about Michigan possibly beating Georgia, but man, I just don't see it.
I don't think they're unless they
athlete wise, that should be a mismatch. I mean, I know that Michigan's got two good defensive ends and they got good running backs, but man, Georgia should win that game.
Well, I'll tell you something. I think Michigan got better than when we got to the end of the season. They were much better on offense.
I respect Harbaugh as a coach. I mean, the guy, has won everywhere he's been. Almost won a Super Bowl with the 49ers. But if Georgia doesn't have it in their head, if they don't carry on the Alabama loss to this game, I feel like Georgia should be inspired to play their best football game against Michigan, but I guess we'll see.
One of the best bowl games.
I'll be shocked if Alabama and Georgia don't play again.
Well, let's see, that game would be on the 10th. They'd wait 10 days. They'd wait 10 days before they play again. Excuse me.
That's actually a good thing, though, as far as have more time to get ready. You finish your game. Alabama will finish early on December 31st, and hopefully they'll beat Cincinnati, and then you got all that extra time to get ready for Georgia or Michigan. But, also if you had a guy get injured, a guy get nicked up, there's a better chance.
Oh, yeah, that does help.
Something serious, you can come back.
That does help. Of course, Miami, the city of Miami is celebrating today, Michael, for Mario Cristobal is on the road back to Miami.
I heard him in interviews, and you got to be happy for him. He's back home, and God won when he was at Florida International. Had a great wide receiver named T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
And Troy used to play him all the time. And
oh yeah.
Of course, he got on Saban's staff and became a big-time recruiter and offensive line coach, and then ended up going out to Oregon and ended up being out there when Taggart was there, and then when Taggart left, he got the job. So, tell you what, these coaches are telling you something, that Oregon's not a destination job like people think.
Oh,
Taggart left it. Cristobal's left it. So, it'll be interesting to see who Oregon hires.
Who did you say first? Did you say
Willie Taggart left Oregon to go to Florida State, and now Cristobal has left Oregon to go to Miami. So
I thought
it's not the destination job that people make it out to be. You're also having to deal with Nike's owner Phil Knight, who runs pretty much the whole athletic department and runs everything out there. So I don't know if he's an easy guy to work with or not.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He's a multi-billionaire.
He's a billionaire. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they'll have any problem furnishing jerseys and pants for those guys to wear. Helmets.
Yeah, they wear the ugliest jerseys and uniforms you'll ever see.
That's right, no question about it. Of course, is.
I'll say this about Oregon though, like Cristobal got out there, and they've got 3 guys on their roster from Alabama. And then I was looking, and they were talking about on the radio show, he's got 5 or 6 other guys from Miami, Florida. I mean, he recruited nationally out there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But that is a long ways to go to Eugene, Oregon. I've been there.
Yeah. And, you know, he finished on a sour note, though. You know, he lost to his rival, Utah twice in a row, yeah. Got blown out twice. And that would have turned me off if I would have been Miami. I didn't even think they played them tight.
Well, everybody's talking about either Chris Ball is going to get the job or Lane Kiffin was going to get the job, and it ended up being Chris Ball.
But Mike, let me tell you something else about Miami. And we played them at Troy, and Troy played them tough. I know one year we really shut them down and played it very well against Miami down there. They don't show up the fan support, Mike. I bet their average is about 30,000 a game, about 35,000 a game. Wouldn't you say?
Well, they play in the old Orange Bowl, and now they play in the they play in the old Orange Bowl. Now they play in the Dolphin Stadium. But they're saying a big $1 billion booster, or billionaire booster, is going to build an on-campus stadium, which would be pretty huge.
That would be huge for Miami. Of course, it's a private school, and hey, listen, which would you rather do? Go to a football game or go to the beach with a pretty girl? Hey, that's a big question, Mike. Go to the beach. Go instead of going to a football game, go to the beach with a pretty girl. You know.
Yeah. Looks like Florida International hired a new coach, Mike McIntyre. Used to be the head coach of Colorado. Used to be the head coach of San Jose State. So that job's now open. I think right now we're just down to Duke, Virginia, and Oregon. I think everything else is filled.
Yeah. And Duke, bless his heart. I mean, he won a few years there, but how do you expect to win at Duke, Mike, in football?
It's tough. I mean, academic for sure. I mean, a few years ago he played an ACC championship game, so I mean, he did a good job. Colorado State also hired Jay Norvell. He was the coach at Nevada, and Nevada had been pretty good.
Yeah, they sure did. Sure did.
So that job's been filled.
Where's Norvell going now?
Jay Norvell left Nevada to be the head coach of Colorado State.
Okay, all right. Gosh, I don't know. You know, that Nevada, you're right, he had turned that Nevada program around, no question about it. But again, I am stunned to hear that Alabama will play on Friday afternoon of New Year's Eve. They will be playing football with game time starting at 3:30. 3:30, and I'm
also interesting news here. Mark Whipple has left Pittsburgh. He's the offensive coordinator the last 5 years for Kenny Pickett, who's going to be one of the Heisman finalists, Pittsburgh quarterback. And Whipple's 64 years old, but has a great offensive mind. Neil Brown learned under him at UMass. He's been a UMass head coach.
Okay, I got you.
Whipple is leaving to be the offensive coordinator at Nebraska for Scott.
All right, they need somebody. Old Scott sure didn't do a very good job, did he?
Yeah, that'll be interesting if he can help that program out.
I would like to see that program come back. I told you.
That fan base is something else.
Some of the best trips I've ever made were to Nebraska, and
yeah, I agree. You went to 3 games there. I went to 2 of them with you.
But you know, I'll tell you something else too, Mike, though, about Nebraska and all those teams there, like Nebraska and Michigan and and Oklahoma, Nebraska and Oklahoma. They play so early in the day. Nebraska, it's no big deal for them to play at 11 o'clock Central. I mean, Eastern, they start their game at 11 o'clock Eastern. That's awfully early to play football.
Yeah, well, it's one of those destination trips. I'd tell anybody to go. I know in a few years Troy will be playing at Iowa. I'd be interested in going to that game.
Mike, you'll get a kick out of this, and I reckon I am making fun of some things, but on all those games we called out on December the 30th, or the December 31st, New Year's Eve. How about this, Mike? A big showdown game in the Sun Bowl featuring Washington State and Miami of Florida, 12:30 kickoff. And also another great game on the 31st, Mike, has Boise State against Central Michigan, And yeah, I reckon when I make fun of them, I reckon some people might make fun of Troy or.
Boise State was down this year. Central Michigan was coached by Jim McElwain, the former Alabama offensive coordinator, and then the Florida head coach.
So is he building that program back?
Yeah, they played in the MAC championship game a few years ago.
Again, what led?
The Troy ladies went on the road and the Tulane Green Wade beat them in basketball. Boy, the Lady Trojans have played a tough schedule, but they are only 4-5. When's the last time they've been 4-5? Tulane 7-3 beat Troy last night in New Orleans, 91-84.
Well, let me tell you this: in the Troy lost two of the best players in the country, and
one of them transferred to Tennessee.
One of them transferred to Tennessee, and where'd the other one go?
I think one of them graduated.
Yeah, well, we did lose them though, and one of them was a bell cow of the whole team. Really a great player, and that's her.
Di was a great player.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Played high school ball with Nona.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Troy's schedule. They played Talladega to open the season. They won by 20. They played Florida A&M the next week. They won by 29. But then after that, they played pretty tough schedule. Mercer beat Troy in Macon, Georgia, 75-66. Troy beat Bethune-Cookman 84-58. But then they played Missouri, Duke, Stanford. They lost the two games, Missouri and Duke, beat Stanford. Then they played at Wake Forest, got blown out. And then now they played at Tulane. So definitely going to be a team that's going to have to improve throughout the season, it looks like, for Coach Rigby.
Yeah.
But they also got Mississippi State coming up soon, so that'll be a tough game.
Yeah. Well, I know that the NCAA would love to see the girls stand alone, but I can't see it. I cannot see it. Right now, they've got like Troy would play Mercer or somebody like that, and then the girls would play.
Oh, you talking about how the girls play?
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's that to me, has hurt the women's because when you had the women and the men playing on the same day, same night, you had a big crowd and you could really get fired up about it.
But I mean, I was watching Southeast Louisiana the other day when they beat Troy. I was watching on ESPN Plus, and I mean, I was looking at it on TV, and I mean, I would say maybe 500 people were there.
Oh gosh, I don't even know if it was that many. I said to myself, if this was Andalusia, or Enterprise or sometime like that, they'd have this place half full.
I know, that's what I've always been shocked about the new arena. I mean, as far as the attendance, it's the most beautiful arena in the Sun Belt by far, and one of the prettiest in college basketball. I mean, it's just a beautiful.
Yeah. I hate to say this.
The attendance was better when we were at Sartain Hall. It's kind of hard to believe.
You're exactly right, because it's been an easy walk to Sartain Hall. Think of this: a student.
The walk has nothing.
I think it has something to do with it.
You're right up from the track. You're right next to the baseball stadium. Baseball stadium has good attendance.
That's way up the hill, though. That's way up the hill, Mike.
You can't say. I mean, a walk might be hard for somebody that's 74 like you. But it would be hard for most people.
But when you go to a game there, you've got a pretty good walk to get to the gym.
I'm just saying, I'm shocked that I mean, you got to get the attendance up to at least 1,500 a game. I mean, these kids, how can they have a home court advantage when nobody goes to games?
Yeah, I could see them.
When I was a kid growing up, every single one of us would be talking at school all day about the airplane contest. We'd be talking about, Showtime, the guys dribbling, spinning the basketballs. I there were so many things to get excited about, and I don't know if they don't go to schools enough.
Yeah.
And the times of the games are not right, but I mean, I'm just shocked that we can't get more fans.
Yeah. Do you know they could bring that airplane thing back and bring an extra 100 kids to the game? Let only the kids do the airplane deal, and
they let everybody do it.
oh well, all right, well, whatever. Let's just say this, but let's say you brought another additional 100 kids to the ball game. Well, somebody's got to bring them to the ball game, and Mama and Daddy and Granddaddy and Grandmama and excuse me.
Auburn and Bruce Pearl, that new arena since it's open, it sells out. Auburn sells out every basketball game, every big game.
But now let me tell you this: a girl,
every big game since Oaks has been there.
a student.
I mean, you could at least get. I mean, that arena holds 5,500. When they built it, we said, "Oh man, they didn't build it big enough." But man, they definitely knew what they were doing. They built it big enough because I'd say the biggest crown we ever had was the first game against Mississippi State. Maestros last year, that was a sellout, and they beat Mississippi State. That's the only time it ever sold out.
Yeah. Well, I doubt if we're going to get Kentucky to come to our place anytime soon. Or
I know, but I'm just saying there's no reason you can't have 1,500 people at least to watch a college basketball.
Oh, yeah, no
That's
question.
not much.
I agree with you. And I would hope that they would find some situations where they could bring more kids to the game. And, what I was saying about...
I know when they have Greek and fraternity nights, I know those are decent crowds, but you can't do those but like one or two times a year.
Yeah. Well, you got to make it fun. You got to make it fun and exciting for these students. And I would think they could come up with some projects that would work, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, my whole thing though is a college town like Troy, especially with schools back then. I mean, it's fun to take your family out to a basketball game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I grew up doing it, but I mean, I guess some people just they got other stuff going on.
Well, of course, this time of year, Christmas is coming in. We used to have tournaments. You don't have Christmas tournaments like you used to. But that was something in the past.
Well, it's one of those things where Coach Rigby's basketball team has been in the NCAA tournament. I don't know 3 out of the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And they should have a great crowd seeing them play. I mean, they've turned into a little dynasty at Troy University. And, I still think this is going to be Coach Cross's best team. I know they lost a bad game the other day, but I think they've got a chance to be a lot better. Every time I say Scott Cross, I think of Scott Cross, the Nebraska coach.
Yeah.
Before I say that name.
Yeah. Mike, going back to the three-point play, and, Troy just used to live by the three-point. Maestri teams were always shooting the three. It made for a more exciting game. Now, the dunk still is the most important, most exciting thing, the dunk. But how many opportunities do you get to dunk? But you get opportunities all the time to shoot that long jump shot and hit and look. And what did I say after that ball went through the goal, Mike?
Swish.
How about string music? They call it string music from where I come from.
That was Joe Dean.
Yeah, but we would say
Joe Dean was the announcer that said string music.
Yeah, I know it, but it was also what we would say. They call it string music where I come from. When you hit a three.
Joe Dean, the former LSU athletic director, used to call the SEC games, and he would call it string music.
And anybody could now, and everything, but we don't see the three-point plays because we don't have anybody to shoot it, and that's sad.
Well, I think Coach Cross is a defensive-minded coach first. It seems like.
Yeah, you're right.
Unfortunately, the guys he's recruited that came in as the three-point shooters just are not consistent shooters. So you got to have a guy that can go out there anytime he's going to put up 20 shots. He's going to have to make 5 threes.
I will tell you this. I'll tell you this right now.
That's like 40%.
Yeah. All right. I would like to say this. I would think this is about right. Unless you can hit, say, 7 to 10 threes, you're not going to win.
That's true. Yeah, I agree
You're
with that.
not going to win, and so, Coach, you better just sit back there.
You don't see it. You don't see a guy, take a hook shot anymore. You don't see a guy use the glass for anything.
No.
Troy's got a bunch of big guys that probably the tallest team they've ever had. But
Yeah.
The little things. The Wes Anderson team, before they use the glass. I mean, they'd use the glass at 15, 20 feet.
Yeah, that's right. The UCLA teams. I used to watch the UCLA, and they would shoot and hit the glass from 20 feet sometimes.
You watch Alabama when they beat Gonzaga the other night. I think Alabama made 18 threes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody in the lineup can make it.
But that goes to show you that more or less anybody out there, any team out there, if they're going to win, they're going to hit at least 7 or 10 threes.
Alabama's got Houston this weekend. Houston made it to the Final Four. Houston comes from Tuscaloosa on Saturday, and that'll be a sellout.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Alabama had never had a hard time selling out the Coleman Coliseum for any game. Now Auburn used to have it, but Auburn now I bet Auburn wishes they would have built a bigger gym now, Mike.
They got Beard East sitting over there. 12
yeah. What are they doing? What are they doing with Beard Ears? You're right.
I gotta think they turned it into some classrooms. They're using it for other stuff, intramurals and stuff like that, I guess. But it's still sitting there.
Yeah, Mike.
The Coliseum, 15,000 fans, and it's not the prettiest thing from the outside, but on the inside, man, it's a great place.
Well,
I've always loved it.
And I tell you, old Wimp built. There's been several good coaches, but I just loved old Wimp when he coached there at Coleman Coliseum.
North Arena in Birmingham's really nice too. I don't know if you've ever been there. I've been there that year.
Well, it holds 9,000, doesn't it? About 9,000.
Yeah, 9,000. Yeah.
Now I remember over the years going to the Civic Center downtown, Mike, and they'd have
the Civic Center holds 18. Yeah.
18,000. That's right for basketball. Does anybody use that as?
My wife and I would go watch Alabama play there. Alabama used to play this one game in Birmingham every year. That's a fun place to watch a game.
I wonder how much longer that place will hold up, Mike.
They totally just renovated it.
They have.
They built a brand new football stadium and they renovated it, gutted out, and totally.
They might have. I bet they reduced seating. Don't you think they might have reduced the seating in that arena?
No, I don't think they sell it out for big concerts, and then the New Orleans Hornets, or not the Hornets, the Pelicans minor league team, the G League team, which is kind of like their minor league. That team plays there. They play out of Birmingham now.
Well, tell us about.
Birmingham's got a pro basketball team. Or kind of like the minor league version of like the, I guess the AAA Braves or something.
All right, let me ask this: Is this Gene Hallman that's doing all of this? Who's doing this for Birmingham?
Well, I mean, the Bruno Foundation might be doing some of it, but I don't know if they're involved in the basketball stuff, and I don't think they're involved in protective life. City of Birmingham's involved with all these projects, but
no way in the world do you think Birmingham will ever get an NBA team. Would you think they could?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they'd get one out of expansion, but you never know. I mean, if Memphis, for some reason, didn't make it, they might move the Grizzlies down or something. I mean, that's always a possibility, I guess.
Yeah. But do you watch pro basketball?
Memphis, I don't know if they're in Memphis' arena. The Memphis arena is right off Bill Street. I'm talking about right off it.
Yeah. And it's a pyramid. Is it still
you're on Bill Street partying, and then you just walk to the new arena. They were in the pyramid.
So the pyramid's no longer there, Mike?
No, pyramid's the largest pro shop in the country.
The pyramid is a what now?
The largest Bass Pro Shop in the country.
Oh, really?
That's a Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, really? And it's no longer a gym.
No.
But that is surprising.
So Memphis plays their games where the Grizzlies play, and then of course the Grizzlies play there too.
Yeah. Mike Amos calling in from Graydon Beach this morning.
Memphis basketball is legendary, though. their coach is Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
They've always had a great program.
Yeah, I was looking at the teams. There's not but one real, two teams that are really not even competitive. Orlando's team's not competitive, and Detroit's not competitive with their record, and also Oklahoma City's not very. And I wouldn't think Oklahoma City would be a big basketball town. What would you say?
They're huge.
They are.
When Billy Donovan was the coach, but I don't know what their attendance is now.
Yeah.
But they support basketball pretty good.
You know,
I've been to Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's a pretty big town, but I've never been to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I've been out there a few times. Mike Amos is calling in from his perch on at what we call the Grayton Beach area, and of course Bill Rice is going to be calling in soon, expecting a call from Johnny Williams sometime today. And
Bryce Young and Will Anderson are AP SEC Players of the Year. Anderson is the AP Player of the Year on defense, and then of course Bryce Young is AP Player of the Year on offense.
All right, who makes it to the show in New York this weekend? The Heisman Trophy.
C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback. Kenny Pickett, the Pittsburgh quarterback. Aiden Hutchinson, which is a joke. Will Anderson should be there instead of Aiden Hutchinson, the Michigan defensive end. And then Bryce Young is a overwhelming favorite to win the Heisman. So Alabama, out of all the great quarterbacks they've had in the history of Alabama football, he's going to be your first quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy.
That's right. And that, the only other person I think has a shot at it is a quarterback from Pittsburgh. And don't you think?
Yeah, but you got to look. Pittsburgh lost the game to Western Michigan this year, and then a lot of people are upset with Kenny Pickett. I don't know if you watched the game against Wake Forest, but they are really upset about a play he made in the game where he was sliding. The safety let up, the linebacker let up. They thought he was going down, and he faked the slide. That would have caused the play to go dead.
Yeah.
And the officials would have blew it, but instead he faked it and kept on running all the way in for a touchdown. A lot of people have been upset about that. Saying, that's a way you get your head knocked off.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because now nobody's going to let up. They're just going
to that's right.
Targeting penalty.
That's right. No question about it. Boy, I tell you what, the Targeted.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
We're good?
No, not yet. We'll be back with more from Today in L.A. in just a moment. Well, we'll leave it right here. Nobody's up top right now, and the course
I'm trying to take a Mahler's tea break.
Mike, Southern Grill and Patio is located at the Town and Country Flooring here in Troy, and of course, boy, they got the best selection of grills. I know you love to cook out. Would you love a what they call the green?
The green egg.
The green egg. Who would have ever thought that a grill would be named a grill egg? A green egg.
I saw a couple of snowbirds walk by my house with Michigan gear.
All right.
A bunch of Yankee snowbirds are down here right now.
We'll be right back.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
Join us live to watch your local Christmas parades on November 30th at 6:30 p.m. in Enterprise, Alabama, December 6th at 6 p.m. in Troy, Alabama, December 7th at 6 p.m. in Ozark, Alabama, and December 9th at 6 p.m. in Luverne, Alabama, on Troy Cable Channel 2.
Are you a driver trainee just finishing school and want to drive an automatic truck? Then call Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Right, Puzzle? We have automatic trucks. That's right. And we will reimburse you for your driver training. No pets? Not at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we thought of everything. We thought of the killer for your fuzzy friend. Right, Fuzzy? Tell them about it. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Fuzzy.
Forevermark Diamonds. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. Available at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry.
Back to our show, brought to you by our good friends at Jean's Flowers on South Brundage Street right here in Troy. And, of course, they've been in the business a long time. And, of course, they are the place to go when you need flowers or gift ideas. They've got just tons of them. It is a beautiful, beautiful store at Christmas. I was in there the other day, and, oh, gosh, Martha Lynn had the place looking like Christmas, and it's always a beautiful place, but at Christmas, it's pretty a place you'll see. Want to mention also, Mike, Max Howell has got a call in to Max Howell right here. Let's put you on hold, Mike. We'll bring it right back. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Mike, it's Max. How you this morning?
Hey, Max. Good morning. Let me bring Mike Amos in if I can real quick here. See, I'll go. And I'll go this way here. Let's see here. All right. There we go. Got both of you. Is that right, Mike?
Got Max.
You got Max Howell. Is that right, Max?
I'm here, yes.
Max Howell, one of the leading prognosticators in the country, and of course, I value what he has to say as much as any one individual I know. And good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, Mike. We've got a football season about closed down now. I think all the coaches are about moved whether I think Oregon's still open, but other than that, we just kind of sit back and wait for the championship games to start.
You know, some people come out smelling like a rose, and I don't know if that's a good term or not, but it is. And I told the chancellor the other day, it seems like every time he's got to make a good move, he makes the right move, and I feel like he did this year. But how about Cristobal at Miami? You know what? I mean, he's just having he's just terrible the last two games he had, and now he gets a big job in Miami.
Well, he went home. That's where he went home. His mom still lives there, and I didn't realize that. While I had to go chase football. Remember, up here in Mississippi, Lane Kiffin said that was the only job he really wanted, was a Miami job. So it boiled down to Kiffin and Cristobal. And of course, Cristobal was in Alabama. It rumor he may go back there. But it must be some other things going on. Maybe it's the competition level out there. I don't know. But how you going to do, as far as financially, how you going to do better than Oregon, when you got Nike sitting there behind you?
Oh, I know it. Yeah, you're right.
I think another story that's going to be interesting to follow, guys, is what's happening to Clemson right now. Football goes to Oklahoma. Radovich goes to Miami. That's the athletic director. And Dabo's sitting up there with a 9-3 record. It didn't play very well, to tell you the truth. Has that program fallen from graces in the last couple of years?
How about this? The lead candidate for the Virginia job is Tony Elliott, Clemson's offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh,
if for some reason internally they start to deteriorate inside. I'll be interested to watch what's going to happen with that Clemson right there.
Well, that is something.
This Max, Bryce Young's about to win the Heisman Trophy as a sophomore in Alabama. He'll be back for one more year. I was listening to a show the other day. Every wide receiver in the country that wants to play with the Heisman Trophy winner. So everybody that's a great wide receiver at all these programs is going to want to transfer to Alabama because they know if they play with this guy, their numbers are going to go through the roof. Look what happened to Jameson Williams get out of Ohio State. So Alabama's going to pick and choose. Do they want to play wide receiver next year? Messi's probably going to go pro, even though he blew out his knee. And then Jameson Williams is going pro. Alabama's going to have just their choice, whoever they want.
Michael surprised me the other day with something he said about Williams, the great transfer from Ohio State. He only caught 2 passes while he was at Ohio State. Is that true, Mike?
12 passes for 255 yards in 2 years.
In 2 years. And when he comes to Alabama, he just lights out,
See, and there's always several reasons for that, guys. I mean, he might not get there for whatever reason. He could get along with the quarterback. I can just give you, having been in those situations, those personalities, once you tee it up and start playing, you'd like to think that would kind of get dismissed, but sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it's just, I think it's partly human nature to not be in the right place at the right time. Williams got there when he came to Alabama. So, and I'm sure, another one I'm looking at right now, what about the defensive back at LSU? He's shopping his players, was, preseason All-American, and heard he's going to take a trip to Alabama. So, those are good. To me, I like that in the portal situation, if they put a timeline on it. If they back it up so neither school gets hurt very much with when a high-profile kid transfers. But
Max, you were the recruiting coordinator at Ole Miss and Florida State. How much would you have loved this portal? You would have tore it up.
You would have hated it.
Hey, I'd have still been at Ole Miss if we'd have had that. We were strapped mainly because we didn't have the budget to go all over the country. We were basically a regional, and we had a stigma, with the Mississippi situation, the flag and the band. I've lived through all of that. It's still, the 2 years I was there, I had won more games than anybody else before Cutcliffe and Eli got there since Johnny Ball coached.
Yeah.
So, we were fairly well pleased with that. Went at 8-9. I laugh about Georgia playing Michigan. Don't get fooled by Michigan. We were 8-2 in 93, 92. You go to the Gator Bowl, take on Michigan, and they beat us. When they walked out on the field, guys, those kids were so big. We'd never seen anything like that.
They're still big like that. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat us like 43-3 that day.
Yeah.
So,
well, Max, you're not a strong fan of Kirby Smart's coaching ability, and of course Kirby lost another one to Alabama.
Right, wrong.
Well, I mean, I was shocked in the third quarter when you don't kick field goals there. I mean, you got to get points in that situation. I thought that was crazy, Coach, and I also felt like he was not aggressive enough defensively as far as trying to put pressure on Bryce Young. He tried to win the game rushing 4 guys, and Alabama was able to block him. But what's your opinion on Kirby Smart going forward throughout the rest of the playoffs?
Well, I mean, he's got the whole thing. If they play Alabama again, he won't beat them again. I mean, if you think Alabama's going to spend 30 days getting ready for Cincinnati, I got some land down here on the river I want to talk to you about. I'm telling you, they'll spend 1 week for getting ready for Cincinnati, and the other 2 getting ready for Georgia and Michigan.
Do you think Cincinnati's a different league, or do you think they have a right to be there?
Who is it, Michigan?
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, the
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Do you think Cincinnati deserves to be there?
Obviously, the committee looked at their schedule and looked at there's a good matchup with Alabama with their wide receivers. and their quarterback. They got a quarterback at Cincinnati has played 2 or 3 years and never had a touchdown scored on him. So we're going to see, we're going to see some great matchups. I was not in favor of Cincinnati being there. I thought they were, I watched them play a couple of times, and they went undefeated. They beat Notre Dame, but how good is Notre Dame? We've seen that before. I was in Miami when Alabama played them in 2013. And they came there highly rated, and Alabama played them look foolish on the first snap. So I say all that to you to say, that, they're there. And without, I didn't think their strength of schedule wanted them being there. I'd like to see them over there. They're there.
Cincinnati's schedule, they started the year with Miami, Ohio. They beat them 49-14. Murray State, they beat them 42-7. At Indiana, they won 38-24. That game was actually a lot closer. I watched it. Notre Dame, they won at Notre Dame 24-13. That's pretty much what their whole season came down to winning that game. They did. They beat Temple 52-3. They beat Central Florida, Gus Malzahn 56-21. Central Florida had lost their quarterback. Barely won at Navy 27-20. Struggled with Tulane, but they came back and beat them 31-12. Tulsa fumbled on the 1-yard line, got beat 28-20 by Cincinnati. Then South Florida scored 28. They got beat 45-28 by Cincinnati. Blew out SMU 48-14, and then beat East Carolina 35-13. Beat Houston 35-20 in the championship game. So that's what Cincinnati did throughout the year.
Good coverage, Mike. That's great coverage.
Yeah. Well, like I say, the strength of schedule didn't match up with others that were out there. Now, on the other side of that, too, I was not in favor of any two-loss team being in there. I think that starts to, kind of water down what this thing's all about. But, hey, they're there. The system's set, so that should be an advantage for Alabama to prepare a week for Cincinnati to get ready to either Georgia or get a Michigan.
You believe they can look over can look over them this year? It surprises me.
Well, I mean, Alabama's going to be ready to play him, but he's just we'll practice for Georgia and Michigan. Yeah.
But you're saying though you're actually telling everybody that to look over Cincinnati.
No, they're not. I didn't say that. Mike, what I said was they will do preparation during each week for Georgia and Michigan.
I got you.
They will concentrate 100% on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Alabama's got to do is turn on the film of the Peach Bowl last year, and Cincinnati should have beat Georgia. Georgia kicked a 53-yard field goal at the buzzer to win the game. I mean,
exactly right.
Cincinnati gets the first down late in that game, and it's over. But Georgia found a way to get the ball back and kicked a long field goal to win it. But Alabama, I'm sure Saban will be showing that film nonstop.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you another thing that happened, and Max, you can verify this. The key to the whole deal, Georgia thought they could rush 4 people, only 4.
That's right.
And Auburn the week before said rush 6, and Auburn ate Alabama's lunch for most of that ball game, rushing 6 players, and they didn't have time to turn around. 4 players, 4. You had 4.
Mike, that goes back to coaching. That goes back to decision making.
Yeah.
That's why Kirby will make mistakes, and I don't know whether he just had quite grasped his or not, or maybe his ego. I don't know what it is, but there's something you can count on. A major. In fact, didn't I say last week before the game be won and lost on the sideline? What I meant from the coaching standpoint.
Yeah. Well,
and it was.
Again, they made a bad mistake because heck, when you rush 6, you got a chance to get them. And they didn't do it.
Interesting news here, Max. I don't know what you think of this. The coach, Alabama had their choice to where they wanted to play. They could have played in Jerry World, indoors, perfect conditions on turf in Dallas. Or you could have played down in Miami in the Orange Bowl on grass, which Alabama plays on grass, but I guess you got an outside chance of some bad weather. What's your opinion on that? I mean, I know there's a lot of bad distractions in Miami. A lot of kids get into some some trouble.
That's the first thing to start with, Michael, is the distractions off the field, not on the field.
Yes, that's right.
I've coached at Miami, I've coached at New Orleans, I've coached at Dallas. I've been in all those places, and the fact is you got to, you got them 24/7, but you only got them contained, about 3 or 4 hours a day. That's when you're on the practice field. And who's going to keep up with them, when the lights go out at night? So I've had to run them down.
Yeah.
The worst place out there is New Orleans, so, New Year's Day and New Year's Eve.
You're right. Dallas is not a haven for partying, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Plus, Alabama's been dominant in Dallas too. Alabama's been dominant in Dallas. They've been dominant in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right.
And you didn't have a choice though. Atlanta was not there were 4 teams that 4 places they could have gone, and they chose Jerry World.
Well, they could have gone to Miami or Dallas. That was the only choice.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was a great choice for them. I mean, Coach Saban knows that. He knows they can control it. And on top of that, guys, different. Alabama's a little different in every respect. The kids got sometimes a lot more pride, and they take care of it. You're gonna have 1 or 2 or half a dozen that's gonna go push the envelope, try to slip out at night. I mean, I remember every one of those places. We always had a coach that rotated out and roamed the halls at night in the motel, so that they don't get out. Because if you think they're grown men, they're teenagers. It's what they are.
I'll tell you what, if Alabama and Georgia fans do it, they both advance. January the 10th, they're playing the national championship in Indianapolis, Indiana. Can you imagine how cold it's going to be outside that stadium? There won't be any tailgating going on. Of course, the game's in a dome, but interesting venue for a national championship game too.
Well, those circumstances, most of the time can be overcome. But you're right. I'm surprised they didn't. In fact, I was unaware that that's where the championship game is actually going to be played this year. I don't know why they did. How will that affect? What if it's bad weather? How does it affect the crowd?
Well, I mean, everything's indoors, but as far as the teams will be up there a week before, and I imagine they'll have to practice outside at some university.
Yeah.
So, be interested to see what they end up able to do. I guess the Colts probably have an indoor practice facility. Maybe they can practice in.
They probably do. Yeah, that they'll let them, rotate out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
all that really plays a major role. You take those kids out of their comfort zone. We'll see. Of course, Michigan, they would probably fare better than any of the others that make it. But the Georgia-Michigan game's going to be interesting. I really, Michigan, if you watched it last week, guys, they like a 1950 football team. They're going to line up and run straight at you. They're going to try to throw many passes. They're going to try to overpower you, ball control you, and they play good defense. That score may be over there. It might be less than 50 a bit. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's going to be a physical matchup.
Yeah.
We got Troy, Hall of Fame coach Max Hall on the air. Of course, Max, you care a lot about Troy's program. They just made a big hire with John Summerall, the former co-defense coordinator, linebacker coach at Kentucky. Fiery guy. He's done great in the press conference. It's been real impressive so far. Have you caught any of this, and what's your opinion on the hire?
Oh, I thought it was great. I was concerned early on. We talked about it on the show, Michael. Because early on, his name did keep popping up. They kept, in fact, on Friday night or Wednesday night before, at the state championship game, my good friend Jerry Young calls all those games for Thompson High School. And Jerry called me the next morning and fell out and, said that Patrick Dix was probably going to get the job and bring Bo Nix with him. That was a whole.
I heard that too.
Of course, so far as I know, Patrick Dix had got a job, and Bo Nix is still at Auburn.
Yeah.
I was really happy that Judd got the job from everything I've been. In fact, I had a call Monday morning to try to drive down. If I had known that a couple of days before, I could have changed my schedule. I couldn't get down because I had too many things I had to cover up here. But I was pleased that he got the job, and I think he'll do a great job. I think he'll revamp that staff. I think he'll use the portal on transfers. That whole program there has to change because with 14 teams in that conference, it can't be the Troy when I was there. To tell you the truth, and it can't be the Troy even when Coach Blakey was there. This league stepped it up now. So I'm sure he can make the challenge. And Caleb Ross, I think, is going to stay. He was a good friend of mine. He was on campus recruiter. So, I had a chance to visit with him one day last week.
Well, now, who is it? What is he here at Troy or where?
He was the former head coach of Prattville High School. He was a high school football recruiting coordinator.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
When kids come on to campus to visit, that's what his job is.
Yeah, I got you.
It's what our cousin Brent Dudsell does at Auburn.
That's right. Sure is.
Max, a lot of coaching hires. What was your opinion on Brian Kelly going to LSU?
Well, you wonder why and how. More than that, Michael, how much they paid him. It's what they.
Yeah.
The contract is unbelievable. What I've heard is not so much. He has other talents besides coaching. If we can count talent, the coaching as a talent. That because LSU has got so many legal problems, like 12 lawsuits pending right now, that they felt like of all the people they interviewed that he could help maneuver the FA department through all of that. But I heard some numbers just staggering. There's anywhere from $50 to $100 million to settle those suits. In addition to what they had to pay him, he paid him guaranteed $35 million, plus houses and airplanes and cars, all the stuff. It's going to be interesting. I was surprised, to tell you the truth, but it's going to take a unique individual to maneuver.
Have you heard this, Max? Have you heard this, that he can't find any assistants that won't, any of the assistant coaches want to leave? Have you heard that?
Well, all of them, yeah. Oh, you're talking about Notre Dame?
No, yeah.
They all stay. They all stay with Marcus Freeman.
They all.
Yeah, they stay with, yeah. And I'd be interested to see that who he brings in because I saw where he brought back
Frank
the
Wilson.
guy that did all the recruiting for him, made him assistant head coach. He was the head coach of it. That's the first hire I think he's done on the field. I'm going to be interested to see who he can hire because his personality is kind of like Dan Mullen was. He didn't get along with a lot of people. But, we'll see. Sometimes that's not most important. But when you've had some couple of down years, you've got to kind of mend some fences, first and foremost. And that first opinion, plays well. I couldn't help but laugh at him in that first interview, guys. You heard him try to do the Southern accent thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
Family.
I mean, he got laughed at. Even in that room.
Yeah.
For that episode.
Yeah.
Well, Max, I'll tell you something really good. Next year, Dad and I will meet you in Oxford, Mississippi, at the Troy Trojans and John Summerall's first game will be against the Ole Miss Rebels.
I will be there. Absolutely.
It'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be good. It really is a good time. They lost 26 seniors. Lane signed his new contract, but he's got to totally revamp that. He lost his offensive coordinator, too, yesterday.
Yeah, he went to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Right. So he's got to replace him. But the main thing is he's got to find a quarterback that can do, that think they can do what Corral did.
Yeah.
With the transfer portal, he's not going to have a problem. He's going to find one pretty soon.
He had the Central Florida quarterback on the campus this week and the quarterback from Hawaii as well.
Oh, God.
They're high-profile guys. So,
boy, I tell you.
If he doesn't recruit well, though, guys, you're looking at 4 or 5 wins at most next year.
But you know what?
I would look at Spencer Rattler, the Oklahoma quarterback, who I'd be going after all these big-time programs.
I'm thinking, but he don't want to come this far to cut. I've already checked into that, Michael. He wants to stay kind of in the West, in Arizona, maybe Southern Cal.
Yeah, I can see that.
2 or 3 places he want to transfer to.
Who do you think?
I don't know if he'd want to go play for Lincoln Riley. His old coach, benched him, Caleb Williams.
Well, but you don't know. We don't know what the reasons were you play 2 ball games, the next thing you know, you're sitting on the bench. So something internally, happened. I don't know whether it's an attitude problem or what, but we don't ever know those things. So, the rumor mill's flowing right now of guys like him where they go.
Well, I heard Lane Kiffin would be considered a strong candidate for the Oregon job. So I guess that is a possibility out there. So I don't know.
Yeah,
they offered Cristobal almost. They offered Cristobal almost $9 million to stay at Oregon.
Yeah.
Well, the deal, Lane's new contract, he was the FA director released. They had about $8.5 million set aside. He took 7.2 plus a house with a bonus situation. It's almost like $20,000.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If he wins the conference, another $100,000. He's got a way to make it right at $8 million this year if he has the same record he could have. But he can't do the same record he had last year. He loses all his talent. So he's got to rebuild that thing. But they put the incentives in there for him to stay. And he took the challenge, and obviously I think he's going to stay.
There's no question in my mind he's going to use the portal, but in fact he might fill his roster with portal players. And
he was raised in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on the sideline from the time he's 10 years old, and he understands free agency, and he understands the situation like the portal.
Max, you've been there, as a recruiter and at some of the better places in the country. Are we really opening up a can of worms with this portal? I mean, I can see people just tugging these players to get them. I mean, don't you think they're going to have to pay them? Do you think they'll have to pay them?
Well, they are paying them.
I mean, the portal, though, do you think they'll get in?
That's what the it's all about.
Do you think the portal, though, you get?
Bo Nix just got a new contract out of the portal. He's fixing to leave Auburn, or reportedly, he may stay. I don't know. It depends on what Harrison did.
I read an article earlier this week. Bryce Young makes $1 million a year already. They say if he wins the Heisman Trophy and comes back another year, that he'll make close to $5 million.
Oh, God.
Did you see it in Texas? What Sark did? He got a couple of companies together. For every offensive lineman that signs, they will guarantee $100,000 in endorsement fees for you. So he's
name, image, and likeness.
Right, using that image, but it's to try in recruiting even. Well, the rumor came out. If Arch Bennett, if Sark could get Arch Bennett, they guaranteed him $10 million right out of high school.
Well, I tell you,
you can legally do it now too. I mean, it's legal.
All right, but you take a school like Troy. There's no way we can afford to pay these portals.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're going to go with where the money is.
You just have what's left over. Troy, the people like that get left over.
You got a billionaire from PPA or CT, whatever, Ameritrade.
Yeah.
That's the former coach of Coastal Carolina. Shoot, you can go to Coastal Carolina and make a lot of money in the Sun Belt.
You know what? We're seeing how he built that program now. You're right. He bought those players. You're right. And we'll buy more. Don't you think he'll buy more? He'll. That's what
I'm saying. I'm just saying. You're going to see them just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
But if that is completely true, guys, how come Oregon didn't have the number one team in America?
Yeah, I know you would think so. Yeah.
See, it's all in the philosophy of the school, the philosophy of the alumni, how they go. I'll tell you what you really better watch is Miami, because they throw in a ton of money and revamping that program down there. And we know they got the best recruiting base in the South. There's 50 seven-day high schools within 60 or 70 miles of the University of Miami.
You know one guy that didn't want to see Cristobal get that job was Nick Saban, because Nick Saban has just, dominated recruiting in Miami.
Very true. Absolutely. That's very true.
And, and these rules, y'all, it is just changing football like we've never seen it before. The rich are going to get richer more than we've ever said it before.
But Mike, is that the way? Is that the way the free economy system works?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Business?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. The bigger companies get bigger, richer, and mom and pop has to hang on.
Exactly.
That's just that's
the
matter of fact.
The biggest question about Alabama moving forward, though, Max, to me is the huge loss of John Mechie at wide receiver. You know, Alabama had two of the greatest receivers in the country with Jameson Williams and Mechie, and now Mechie has got a torn ACL, will be out of the playoffs. I mean, as an offensive coach, I mean, Alabama's got, 5-star, 4-star wide receivers that hadn't played that much. I mean, in the next, 3 weeks, is that enough time to get some of these guys ready as a coach, for them to be able to produce?
Remember, they've been practicing every day, all the time, just they haven't put them in a ball game. The difference is a wide receiver in a skill position, Michael, it's not like an offensive defensive lineman, where your skill is learned, how to get around face-to-face on the man. Well, wide receivers and all that, they aren't going to get manned up face every step. They're going to have some guys playing zone off from them, which gives them some movability. And then it behooves Alabama to, put the system you like best is when they group the three out there. I mean, that's where Williams has made made a ton of yardage this year, several long touchdowns. With the defensive backs, when they put two out there to try to cover three, and you got one got a free safety sitting in the middle, and normally that guy's going to come free about 20 yards down the field in front of that free safety. And then you see a guy like Williams just outrunning. So they got a couple of other kids that, I think will surface out there when it comes. For 3 weeks to get ready, you practice 2 hours a day for 3 weeks.
We're going to see some new faces, especially in the receiver for Alabama, don't you think?
Well, I mean, we saw it in the Auburn game because Jameson Williams got kicked out of the game because of targeting to Ja'Cory Brooks, the guy that called the game-winning or tying pass against Auburn.
Yeah.
Of course, he'll be able to step up, and then Alabama's got a guy named JoJo Earl that was returning punts, kind of like a Jalen Waddle that's supposed to be healthy and back. But
all right, Max.
That's one concern I definitely have is losing Mechie.
All right, Max. We got a big Christmas season coming up, and I know that you guys love to eat. What's for dinner?
Well, we just kind of feeling in right now, Mike. We're doing some spoiled shrimp. That's going to be something on the grill probably this coming week. We do boiled grilled shrimp for our guys. And of course, this is hunting season. It's already started up here. They'll kill a young buck somewhere, strip out the tenderloin and break that. We always have deer meat this time of year on the grill for our guys. And of course, again, the women don't do a whole lot of variation getting ready for Christmas. They'll cook the basics. The green beans, the butter beans, baked beans. They'll do a couple of salads. And then,
how about pecan pie with vanilla ice cream on top?
Dessert's going to be full of pies, I can tell you. Pecan pie will be one of the leads, and Mississippi Blood pie will be a second. Anything chocolate.
Yeah.
And of course, anything you bake in the oven, if it's a cold night, we down on the river, they want that pie pulled out of the oven and put. They really like that vanilla ice cream on top.
Well, I know that y'all have great pageantry. You live in I tell you what, you live in a fairy tale world. I mean, exactly.
Mike, I do. You know what? As old as I am now, I'll never move it. They're going to find me on the side of the road.
You have found paradise, haven't you? And we appreciate you, Max, and I hope to talk to you next week.
I will do it. Thank you so much, y'all.
Thank you, man. Max Howell, of course, one of the top football analysts in the country. We're so fortunate to have him every Thursday on our show. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early for Today in L.A.